All right, guys, this is probably gonna upset a lot of you. I know that, but I'm putting power steering in the EG. I know. A lot of you guys are like, bro, the car doesn't weigh nothing. You don't need power steering. Guess what? I want power steering. I could have went the more expensive route and do the Prius electric steering conversion, but I kind of want to keep the car original, if that makes sense. Like, if I was gonna do like a case swap in this, like, yeah, I would want to go all out. I would want to put like top of the line stuff, like go all out. But this is just a B20 B20B. It's not the craziest thing in the world. I kind of want to keep it original, OBD1, a Dizzy on it, and just incorporate the power steering system from that it originally came with. So if you guys don't know, the manual, if your car has manual steering, your steering rack is actually thinner in diameter. And I can show you guys. So this is a power steering one, and this is a manual one. Already, like, there's a huge difference. So you can't just bolt up your manual rack to the power one and vice versa. You can't really swap them over. So it's easier to go from power to manual because a lot of companies sell these adapter plates. But they're like, who would want to install power steering in their EG? Like, me. But anyways, what I did was I kind of extended the holes out more so that it can reach the bracket. And if we take a look right here, we kind of position it so you guys can see what I'm talking about. If I do that, look at that, the holes now line up. So I'm gonna go ahead and see if the O'Reilly's power steering rack that I just paid almost $200 for, $300, because I still have a core charge on it of $70. So I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. This is all new to me. Again, I'm a Toyota guy. Like, you can ask me anything 1ZZ, 2ZZ related, and possibly 1MZ, 3MZ, I'll know. But Honda, no. You could ask me modern Honda, like I could do a timing belt easy. But yeah, let's go ahead and unbox the power steering rack from the box and get our hardware ready. So let me go ahead and turn the camera around to show you guys what I'm doing. So here it is. We're gonna go ahead and mount our power steering rack. Let me zoom in a little bit. You can see right here in this area is where we're going to mount up the bracket. And then over here, this is where the other side of the steering rack bolts up. These holes line up. So let's go ahead and test fit the steering rack. So it's a whole different day. I did already show you guys that I installed the power steering rack, and I already did install the power steering pump with the brackets, but I'm still waiting on my power steering lines and the reservoir. I was gonna go OEM, but after doing some more research on the internet, I found this company. I don't want to spoil the video too much, but if you guys are into Hondas and tucked engine bays, you guys are probably going to know who I'm talking about. Seems like they're pretty popular. A lot of people buy from them, but I still want to kind of keep it a secret, kind of make an introductory video, because if this works out with the EG, I may go the same route with my 6th gen Celica for the power steering lines, reservoir, and same with the coolant overflow. So I don't want to spoil it too much, but basically understand that I'm gonna skip through the video with the power steering installation. So hopefully you guys aren't too upset about it, but I will make an independent video on the whole power steering setup. So let's continue on with the build. Sorry guys, but I did not record putting the engine in. I was kind of a little nerve-wracking. It was a little nerve-wracking because I was doing this the hard way. I didn't want to damage my freshly painted engine bay. So what I ended up doing was I raised this jack stands all the way up, and I still didn't have enough to slide the engine underneath this way with the furniture dolly I had. Yeah. So I didn't have enough space. So what I ended up doing was I just got the jack and I put pieces of wood on the subframe. I lifted it up enough to slide it under. So that was one issue. And then the second issue was I couldn't get my engine crane going this direction because the furniture dolly was made, or the engine's wide this way, so the legs couldn't go this way. So I had to bring the hoist or the crane this way and raise up the engine this way. So it was, I don't know, I didn't want to record myself because I get a little nervous, and I know it's not live, but I don't know, just tense. I build tension. So anyways, it's already installed. Couple things I need to do. I guess, so I have these innovative motor mounts, and I didn't realize that on this one, this stud is not long enough. So I have to take out the stud and replace it with a bolt because the nut doesn't grab onto much. So I need to do that. I didn't realize that. This mount is secured. The rear one is already secured. The exhaust is bolted up. I had to take off the alternator because I didn't want to scratch up the frame of the vehicle while putting the engine in. And so right now, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be installing this eBay clutch line. I really don't think this is going to reach. I have my doubts. If it doesn't reach, then I'm going to have to go a different route. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to install the master slave cylinder and the master cylinder, master clutch cylinder, and then the slave cylinder, and see how much can I work with. So I'm gonna go do that right now. And our master cylinder is over here. Here it is on the floor. Let's go install it. All right, so I got the master clutch cylinder installed with some dress-up bolts, and I'm running the line up along right here, and I'm gonna put some clamps on the fuel rail right here to kind of hold it in place, see if that works. If not, I'll figure something out. But then it curves right here, and then perfect. So I'm gonna touch it on the inside. I'm gonna bleed the system and see how it feels. If it feels good, hopefully it's good. Hopefully I don't get any leaks, because I saw someone's video on YouTube and they said that the bolt was too long. So I had to use a washer. I don't know if you could see the washer on top of the bolt, or on top of the crush washer, the copper one. There's a washer in between the copper washer and the bolt head. So, I mean, it got tight. It feels good. So, again, I'm going to go on the inside, mount up the clutch master, and go from there. I also purchased the new rubber cover for the slave cylinder. There's a part number for that if you guys are interested, because the old one I had was really, really hard and brittle, and it ended up ripping when I wanted to remove it or move this back, and so I just bought another one. It was pretty cheap. Couple things I already went ahead and did off camera were install these aftermarket eBay radiator hoses. They're all over eBay. Basically, this is a BD series into a EG hatch. I think it was about 40 bucks. Comes with all the hoses required. So far, the only one I had to trim was that sucker right there, which wasn't too bad, but the other ones fit perfectly fine. I already told you guys I went ahead and switched out these hoses to actual heater core hoses. These were PCV hoses, and they were brittle and hard, or they were hard as a rock. So the minute they got any flex to them, it was gonna crack. So I ended up replacing them with 5/16s from O'Reilly's. I think that should be fine. What else? We got the throttle cable already bolted up. I use a dress up bolt right there. Same with the master clutch cylinder. We already got our clutch cylinder line installed, and then I have these Harbor Freight clamps attached. Bought a pack of them at Harbor Freight, and they're doing phenomenal. They're doing phenomenal there. What else have I done? I think that's it so far. So I'm coming over here and I'm outlining where the ground is going to be, and I'm just scraping it off. I'm just scraping it off with a knife, and then I'm going to come over here and hit it with the wire brush on the ground as well. So now I'm going to do a solo bleeding procedure on the Civic, and what I'm going to use right here is genuine brake fluid, .3, and we're going to fill up the reservoir. And in order to do this the solo way, what I have right here is I have my bleeder open with a hose going down to a ball of brake fluid. And what we're gonna do right here is basically it's just gonna push all the air out, and it's gonna go into the bottle, and we're gonna keep going until this fills up and we don't see any more bubbles coming out. So let's go ahead and perform that. Be very careful with the brake fluid because this will eat up your paint. Just put a hole right there. Wow, that was loud. All right, just put a hole. Let's see if I can do this with one hand without getting any brake fluid everywhere. Okay, we don't suck. All right, that should be fine. Let's go ahead and pump our pedal a couple of times. So I'm gonna come in here, just pump. So as I told you guys, I am going to be running power steering on the EG. And so I went ahead and I purchased the power steering pump. But typically when you buy these power steering pumps, they don't come with a pulley. So what did I do? I went on eBay and I bought the most cheapest pulleys I can find. And I can't remember the price, how much these were, but they're really cheap. Really, really cheap. I'll put them in the description down below. And the quality on them, it's actually really good. Like, I thought these were gonna be like low quality, but yo, for these being like lightweight pulleys, they're great. They're great. But the only reason I pretty much decided to go this route with these pulleys is because the alternator pulley that I had, it was this weird janky one. I don't know what is this out of, but check how wide it is. Yeah, so I don't know what exactly was going on, but you can see the belt was only being driven by 3 of the ridges, and the other ones were just kind of hanging out. And so the issue with that was causing was on my frame, they decided to hammer it. They decided to hammer it so that the pulley can properly fit in there, and I just thought that looked really, really jank. So again, I didn't want to use this pulley. It looks incredibly jank, and I decided to just go the eBay route and buy 2 cheap pulleys. So the alternator one looks pretty dope. Look at that. So the bolt I have on this, or the nut, is a 22 mil. So that was pretty easy. I just pretty much ugga-dugga with the impact, and it's on there. So we're gonna go ahead and install this onto the EG. It's kind of down there, so I'm gonna see if I can get you guys some quick video of me installing it. So it looks like I got enough space to send it through here. I just gotta move this brake line out of the way. I gotta put this back where it belongs through the frame of the vehicle, but I haven't done that yet. But we're gonna go ahead and install the alternator. Just gonna bring it up here, and then here's our plug for the tucked harness, and then here's the 12 volt for the alternator. Kind of adds in its own wire. So there you have it. Alternator is installed, and then we gotta move this brake line out of the way before we actually start tightening it down. So I already have the alternator installed. I already got the belt installed. Now I'm gonna come over here and give the alternator a bit of attention, and then we're gonna tighten the top bolt.